Hello, New Hope Ministry, and here I'm with today's homily, and I thought this week we'd talk about the prodigal son. Now, as it says in A Course in Miracles, listen to the story of the prodigal son and learn what God's treasure is and yours. This son of a loving father left his home and thought he squandered everything for nothing of any value, although he had not understood its worthlessness at the time. He was ashamed to return to his father because he thought he'd hurt him. Yet when he came home, the father welcomed him with joy because the son himself was his father's treasure. He wanted nothing else. Now, in the biblical story, he speaks of a brother. And what that brother is the ego. To put it into a more familiar story, what it is that the rich man is God. Right. Now, this rich man has given his son, one of his sons, he has two, one of them a lot of money to go out and earn his fortune in the world, right? And the other son stays at home with him, right? Well, the son that's gone out wastes all the money. It doesn't matter what he wastes it on, but he does. And there's not a penny left, and he has to go home, and he's worried because he knows what he thinks his father's going to be upset with him. Meanwhile, his father, God, back home, is rejoicing because his son's coming home. He doesn't care what he's done or how much money he's spent or what he spent it on. All he cares about is that his son is coming home. Anyway, the other brother, the ego, he doesn't want to celebrate at all. He wants his brother punished. You know, he spent all your money, and do you know what he spent it on? And God says, I don't care what he spent it on. Listen, my beloved son is coming home, and that's all that matters. He is coming home, and I will celebrate. You see? The ego's complaints that the brother isn't being punished are just cast to one side by God. God knows that when you're out into this world, you see, the prodigal son is us out into this dream, this experience, this idea of separation. And God knows we're caught in it, and he knows anything can happen here. And he is all forgiving because he knows that nothing has actually happened here. We're just dreaming. We're having an experience of being separate from him. And in this experience of separation, we feel separate from him. And that's why, that is the source of all our misery, right at the very root of it. We look round and think badly of things that are going on, and put things down, because we think God has done us a wrong. But God hasn't done us a wrong at all. This really hasn't got anything to do with God. God is the life force. God is our life force, you see. And what we do is entirely down to our own free will. It's like the people again, I'm always using the analogy of the dream because it's a very good one. But the people in our dreams at night have free will, and they do exactly as they like, just as we do in this dream. As we dream, we merely observe them, and when we wake up, we realise that they weren't actually real, and it counts for nothing. Totally inconsequential. And this is the same with this dream. When we awaken, we realise, that it's totally inconsequential. You see? However, there's a catch to this, as I've said before. You see, there's more than one afterlife. You see, like the Course in Miracles speaks only of the oneness of God. It doesn't discuss any illusionary afterlives that we may go after here, because it doesn't want to make them, it doesn't want to bring life to them. You see. And what I mean by that is the Course in Miracles tells us how to get home, our true home in God, the true oneness of God. It doesn't discuss mothers and fathers or getting jobs or anything like that goes on in this dream, because to do that makes it kind of real. You see, by giving, as I said last week, by giving names to things, it gives them a kind of solidity that they don't really have. It's just a dream, you see. And that's what the story of the prodigal son is. One son dreams he goes out, and the other one stays at home, you see. And the one at home complains that his father, God, has not punished the son who's gone out into the world. He hasn't punished him because he knows, God knows, there's nothing to forgive. It was just a dream. Further to that, there's a good analogy concerning our experiences here, and it's to do with the theatre. You see, I used to be an actor, right? A stage actor many years ago, and the villain would be out on the stage, and us other actors would be round off stage in the wings waiting for him to come off, and the people would be out there booing this villain, and he's doing a really good job of showing how nasty he is. But when he walks off the stage, us actors are all going, well done, that was really well portrayed, good job, because we knew he was just acting. You see, everything that goes on here is just a nightmare dream, and when it ends, it's seen as a nightmare it was. Going back to that theatre, at the end of each play, do we not applaud the villains just as loudly as we do the heroes? Because we know it was just a play. You see? Same as this is just a play. Originally discovered by the ancient Hindus, who concluded that it was a play, and it was called Leela, which means play. God's play. Anyway, we're further on that another time. That's my homily for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye then. God bless you all. Goodbye.